Mellow greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet. Today we are going to be talking about convictions. No, not the kind that I have racked up in courtrooms across the country over the last decade for the crime of filming protests. No, not those convictions. Beliefs. Deeply held beliefs. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how some people don't actually have them. Now, for those of you who don't remember, a couple months ago, we had a little insurrection thingy, and it brought about a very interesting national narrative that I like to call Schrodinger's protester, who's simultaneously so star-spangled awesome and patriotic that they managed to, with just a small handful of them, combine their patriotism to overrun the U.S. Capitol and take their patriotism and just force it on people. Yet, those protesters were also simultaneously the dreaded Antifas. And those dreaded Antifas were the ones that actually did all the hard work, and that the patriots merely filled in behind them, and the Capitol was overwhelmed with the benevolence of their patriotism, even though they didn't actually do anything crimey or insurrection-y. So I thought we would take a look at our most recent addition to the folder of faux patriots who have a convenient set of convictions that mysteriously go away the second shit gets real. Here we go. South Carolina man charged in Capitol riot bragged he dressed as Antifa and fought the police. Yeah, looks like y'all are about to get a crash course in having zero strength in your convictions and belief structures. A South Carolina man bragged in a group text chat that he disguised himself as an anti-fascist or Antifa activist during the January 6th Capitol riot and succeeded in assaulting officers and stealing police gear, authorities said. So, right off the bat, the faux patriot crowd would have you believe that they support the thin blue line and back the blue. Apparently that's not a thing, because I don't think backing the blue also includes attacking the blue. The man, William Robert Norwood III, relayed his plan in a text to 4 other people on January 5th, according to screenshots of the chat included in a criminal complaint and an arrest warrant filed on Thursday. Quote, "I'm dressing in all black," Norwood wrote, according to the complaint. "I'll look just like Antifa. I'll get away with anything." Now, I might not be the brightest guy in the room here, but I would have to think that dressing in all black and then attacking police officers is not exactly the way to get away with anything. Kind of makes you stand out in a crowd full of people wearing red hats and boxer shorts that look like American flags. The day after the riots, Norwood sent an update. Quote, "It worked. I got away with things that others were shot or arrested for. The cops shot a female Trump supporter, then allowed Antifa Trump supporters to assault him. I was one of them. I was there. I took his shit," Norwood continued. That's right. Mr. Norwood is so damned patriotic that he let a Trump supporter get shot in the head to act as his cover so he could then assault a police officer. Remember, these are the people who tell you that they are patriots, that they love the United States of America, and that they wholeheartedly back the blue. Attached to the text was a selfie of Norwood, quote, "wearing what appears to be a U.S. Capitol Police tactical vest underneath a zipped-up camouflage jacket," the FBI wrote in the complaint. According to the screenshots, Norwood wrote to the group, "I got a nice helmet and body armor off a cop, for God's sake, and I disarmed him. Tell me how that works." Well, okay, Mr. Norwood, since you insist, I'll tell you how this works. The Capitol Police were mysteriously understaffed that day and also were not fully briefed on the dangers that were awaiting them. Combined with that, as it's going to come out in more of these trials that are coming around thanks to people like you, a number of the police officers on the Capitol force were sympathizers to President Donald Trump and were more than happy to pull away metal security gates and even take selfies with some of the patriots like yourself who were busy beating the shit out of cops who didn't just open doors and gates for you. Is that a good enough explanation for you, Scott? He claimed that once he changed out of Antifa garb, he was targeted by officers, quote, "I fought 4 cops. They did nothing. When I put my red hat on, they pepperballed me," Norwood wrote. Apparently, Norwood does not understand the cut. When he and his fellow patriots marauded into the Capitol, they vastly overwhelmed the cops, who continued to fall back rather than gun them all down in a hail of bullets because, again, they're patriots. So, we can't be shooting patriots even when they do insurrection and beat the shit out of our fellow cop buddies. No. That's not something cops are going to do. But you see, hours later, after you changed out of your Antifa outfit and put your red cap on, that was when Trump and all the other obstructionists finally got worked around and they got enough cops to come out and do a sweep. Immediately after the violence, January 6th, baseless conspiracy theories circulated on social media and conservative media outlets that Antifa had somehow been behind the riots. There is no evidence that anti-fascist activists were involved in the riots, which led to the deaths of 5 people, FBI officials have said repeatedly. The federal cops, the FBI, the thin blue line. Yeah, oh, that's right. We don't believe them when they don't support our shitty, semi-fascist, all-the-time racist narratives. No, that's right. The 10% of the time that cops don't agree with you, they just must be spreading misinformation and lies. Someone identified as TD, who the FBI says is Norwood's brother, reprimanded him. Quote, "You admitted to going and being something you're accusing other people of being, and then got mad and blamed others for the same thing you did. What the actual fuck is wrong with you?" TD texted according to the documents. Norwood is alleged to have replied, quote, "The one cop who deserved it got it. The cops who acted shitty got exactly what they deserved. The ones who were cool got help." Here, let me put on my asshole to human translation hat and let you know what that actually means. The cops who took selfies with me and were more than happy to let me take a dump on Nancy Pelosi's desk, those were real cops and patriots. All the other cops who were doing their duty by defending the Capitol building that they are sworn to protect, oh no, they were shitty and got what they deserved because they didn't agree with you. That's not patriotism. That's domestic terrorism. A family member of TD tipped off agents saying that TD had told her that Norwood had done, quote, "terrible things inside the Capitol, including assaulting law enforcement officers," the criminal complaint said. TD then shared the messages with federal agents. When agents interviewed Norwood, he said that he and his wife had traveled to Washington, D.C. to attend the Trump rally. He admitted entering the Capitol and its rotunda after he was separated from his wife. Oh, no. Where did my wife go? I guess I'll go look for her behind those police barricades. He claimed that 2 U.S. Capitol police officers were waving people inside and that one of the Capitol police officers told him, "I'm on your side." As I go through and read the rest of this, I just want you to know that that's probably the only honest statement he made. He said he wanted to leave but couldn't because of the large crowd. He said he protected officers against being assaulted and claimed that somebody else took a police vest from a pile of equipment and put the vest on him. He admitted taking a helmet from the pile and putting it on his head. Quote, Norwood also denied assaulting law enforcement officers and claimed that any statements he made in text messages were just meant to make him sound tough, the criminal complaint said. Norwood repeatedly claimed that he only attempted to help law enforcement, not hurt them. What happened to those police officers who were being shitty, got what they deserved? What happened to that, Scott? What What happened to, oh yeah, I let that cop shoot the female Trump supporter and then I beat the crap out of him and took his vest? What happened to that, Scott? What happened to the strength of your convictions, Scott? The blue is bullshit. Norwood provided the FBI with a photo of himself wearing a camouflage jacket standing near the Washington Monument on January 6th. A man who was wearing the same clothes, and appears to be Norwood, was recorded on surveillance video in the rotunda. Norwood faces charges of violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, obstruction of justice in Congress, theft of government property, and other counts. Now, our friend Scott here isn't the first patriot to instantly change his tune once Johnny Law came and hooked him up and took him and dragged him before a judge. If you remember, it wasn't very long ago that the Q shaman, aka Man Bear Pig, decided to come out and say the only reason he did some insurrection was because Donald Trump told him to do it. So to any other patriots out there within the sound of my voice who happen to stumble across this video, if you're going to talk the talk when you're hanging out with all your patriot buddies, make sure you repeat those same exact sentences to the FBI when they come to ask you what you were doing during the insurrection. Who knows? Maybe the rest of us might respect you a little bit more for having some strength in your convictions instead of flipping the second shit gets tough. Till next time, my name is James. I am from the internet and I'm out. Peace.